I'm Judy Zelina. This is the Millcreek Government Channel. Today I want to talk about an organization, Meals on Wheels Erie. And Meals on Wheels Erie promotes healthy independent living by delivery of nutritional services. And I say services because there's something new that's been added to the Meals on Wheels Erie program. Here to tell us everything there is to know about Meals on Wheels, we have the Executive Director. We have Terry Pitlars. Terry, thank you for joining me on the program.
Thank you, Judy. Appreciate it.
It's just one of those things. I ran into him and said, guess what, we need to have you on the show. Actually, this is kind of interesting. I know it's been around a while, but what exactly is the history of Meals on Wheels, and how did it start here in our community?
Well, let me go back and tell you how it started.
Okay,
Just
from the
overall.
Okay, from the
it
beginning.
started as a result of the Blitz in London. This was an 8-month bombing campaign in London, and obviously a lot of people were bombed out of their homes. They had no kitchens. So the Royal Women's Voluntary Corps got together and said, let's deliver meals directly to the soldiers, directly to people whose homes were bombed out. So essentially that's how it started.
Okay.
Where the actual name Meals on Wheels came from, I don't know anybody knows that, but it's not owned by anybody, so everybody uses it who has home delivered meals.
All right.
As part of their program. Now that was back in the 40s, so it took a while to migrate, but the first place it went in the early 50s was Australia, and a lady was delivering meals on her tricycle. And then from Australia came Philadelphia. Now,
Right.
Philadelphia's Margaret Toy worked at the Mission or Lighthouse Settlement House. And she was asked to put together this program that the director heard about in Europe. So she did that, and she is commonly known as the mother of Meals on Wheels in America. So from there, it went from Philadelphia to Columbus to Rochester, and finally in 1971, Al Gessler, who is a Lutheran reverend out in Holy Redeemer Parish in Lawrence Park, founded Meals on Wheels, originally called Metro Erie Meals on Wheels, because we only delivered to the city of Erie and Millcreek Township. We have since expanded our services to other areas, so we changed our name to Meals on Wheels Erie to follow our mission, as you had mentioned earlier, to promote healthy, independent living through home delivery of nutrition services.
Now, Terry, when this started, you know, over in Europe and in Philadelphia, and they were delivering meals, were they delivering meals to elderly or to homeless,
actually,
or people that couldn't get out?
It started with soldiers. It really started
Okay,
with soldiers,
all right.
because they were fighting for their country, and the people who were providing meals to the soldiers, they were bombed out. Okay. So they had to get food from somewhere. So they produced this this idea of taking meals directly to people. Usually it's, you know, you go to a restaurant, you know, you go to a lunch wagon, you go somewhere else to get your food. This food comes to you. Okay.
Okay, now we've all heard about Meals on Wheels. It's been around in our community for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Called different names, but Meals on Wheels has been involved. How would I know if I qualify? Is there a qualifying process?
There are 3 programs that we offer, meal programs. The first meal program is private pay. You pay for your meals, and those are for people who are homebound but have the means to pay for meals.
Okay.
The other 2 programs are, and obviously those are funded by the recipients. There are 2 other programs that we have. One is from the Department of Human Services, which helps those who are under 60 but have disabilities. That comes from state funding. In addition to that, we have a program that is administered by GCAC, and those programs are for people who cannot afford meals, so they get those meals free. That is also, when you hear a commercial on TV that says, Pennsylvania State Lottery helping older Pennsylvanians, that's where the money goes.
Okay.
There's 3 places where that money goes. One is home delivered meals, another one is congregate meals, where you go, like the LifeWorks Erie, you would go there and get a meal.
All right.
And the third one is the one that is for people over 60 who cannot afford meals. I guess the majority, I would say the majority of the money goes to publicly funded nursing homes.
All right.
But the money that we get through the Pennsylvania State Lottery helps fund these programs and helps us deliver tens of thousands of meals every year.
Okay, so it would depend on your situation to see what category that you would fall in, whether it be private
You know, we get a
pay.
lot of calls that say, you know, how do I qualify for Meals on Wheels? Well, you either can afford to pay for them or you can't. So if you can afford to pay for them, you wouldn't qualify to get them free.
Right.
So you would go on a private pay program. If you cannot afford them, then you would call GCAC and they would qualify you.
All right.
Okay, and that's their qualification, their customer. We subcontract basically to
Okay.
deliver the meals for them, but it's still a Meals on Wheels program.
All right. Okay, now who prepares your meals?
The GCAC
Are you in the kitchen there, Terry?
No, you don't want me in the kitchen. Thank you.
Okay.
I will sample.
Oh, there you go.
Yes,
All right.
that I've been known to do.
Okay.
Now, GCAC has their own kitchen down in 8th and Sassafras, or 8th and Peach, and we serve the GCAC clientele through that kitchen. So
All right.
our volunteers go pick up the meals there. The private pay and the under 60 persons with disability programs are run through St. Martin Center.
Oh, all right.
On 17th and Parade.
Okay.
So they make our meals for us there. There's about 100 a day from St. Martin Center and about 200 or so from GCAC.
Okay. What is in a typical meal?
Well, you get a protein, starch, and vegetable in a container, you know, one of those compartmentalized containers with the cellophane on top. You also get, now I'm talking about the private meal, and the under 60 from St. Martin Center.
All right.
In addition to that, you get a salad, you get a dessert, you get a piece of bread with butter, and 8 ounces of 2% milk.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a pretty robust meal, and that is the basic hot delivered meal, which we call an HDM, hot delivered meal. In addition to that, if you have a bigger appetite, we have a light meal, which would be a sandwich, piece of fresh fruit, and a dessert.
Okay.
Okay? And that's those are $2.75.
Okay, now, do you have different meals to meet different nutritional needs? Say, for instance, I'm on a low sodium or, you know, some type of restriction from my physician?
Yes, we handle it a couple of different ways. One is that we have 2 basic meals. One is the regular meal, which is just the way it's prepared, and the other one's a diabetic meal. And the diabetic meal simply is a sugar-free dessert. We don't put sugar in, nor do we put salt in. Everything is salt and sugar to taste. Okay, so it's all low sodium by default.
Okay.
The only sodium that is contained in it is in the food itself.
All right.
Okay, so we have low sodium. All the nutrition facts for those are on our website.
Okay. And now, the nutritional contents, there's guidelines that you have to follow, aren't there?
Well, yes, they are guidelines. It's not a matter of having to follow them,
Exactly,
but it's a really good idea.
Okay.
Okay, and that comes from the state, and it also comes from the federal government. So we take a look at those. St. Martin Center provides a nutritionist and takes a look at all of our meals, and we go from there. That's where those nutrition numbers come from.
Okay, and how often is a meal delivered?
Well, meals are delivered 5 days a week,
Okay.
Monday through Friday. Now, there's a little wrinkle on that. You can get 7 meals, okay, all 7 days of the week. We deliver meals, frozen meals, on Friday with the hot meal that covers the weekend.
Okay.
So if you want 1 or 2 meals
For Saturday and Sunday, okay.
we can provide that on Friday. And all the only part that's frozen is the protein, starch, and vegetable. Everything else is fresh.
Okay.
Okay. Now that's true of all 3 programs. On the GCAC program, when you're getting in at no charge, they determine whether or not you need 5 or 7 meals based on your particular situation. They do an assessment, okay, and it's a pretty comprehensive assessment. So they'll know when they're done whether you would qualify for 5 or 7 meals.
All right.
So then on Fridays, we deliver a lot more food because a lot of people are getting 7 meals.
Okay. Is there a specific time that these meals are usually delivered, or is it, okay, say for instance I sign up for the program, am I going to get my meal the same time every day?
You will get it between 10 a.m. and noon every day. Now, sometimes we're late getting there. Sometimes we have an issue where a volunteer calls off and we have to get a substitute. All of that kind of delays things, but by and large, because it's a 2-hour window and it doesn't take 2 hours to deliver a route, then you have, if it's getting towards noon, we do get calls. This is sometimes the first meal of the day for these folks. And when they don't get their meal, when they usually get it, they're on the phone calling. And then we have to explain that it's on its way.
Right.
Okay?
And I'm sure, especially living in Erie, you've got some inclement weather you have to deal with.
Well, that's true, but we have really stalwart volunteers. We have really stalwart volunteers. Yes. I've been doing this for 4 years now, and for 4 winters, and you know what last winter was like.
Yes.
At no time did we not deliver meals.
Really? You guys are great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really terrific. There are guidelines for state-funded agencies like GCAC that when the schools close, they close. Okay, now they'll follow up with a little box of food to kind of like replace the food. Okay, so we might not deliver on that particular day. That is that agency.
Okay.
The other agency, I mean, through St. Martin Center and the other 2 programs we have, we're out delivering meals.
Good for you.
Yeah.
For you. I wanted to talk a little bit about a new program. And this is relatively new that you have added to the Meals on Wheels Erie program, right? Mm-hmm. This is your grocery, shopping, and delivery service.
Right.
Great idea.
Right.
Great idea.
We've been getting a lot of that.
Oh, I bet.
That it's been really, really needed in Erie.
When did you start this?
This started back in May.
Okay.
Bearing in mind that since 1971, for 44 years, we've delivered meals.
Right.
We deliver anywhere from 95,000, 100,000 meals a year. Mm-hmm. And we did that. We did it really, really well. But we believe there's more to do. So the grocery shopping program is modeled after some other Meals on Wheels and some other for-profit people who go out and deliver groceries. And I thought, there isn't a reason in the world why we can't do it here. So we got together with Giant Eagle. Mm-hmm. They have 6 stores in the county, and we wanted to expand our services to people who are homebound in the county. Now we can't do that with the meals. There isn't enough call for it, and whoever does go on in the county, GCAC delivers, okay, in the county. We deliver in the city in Millcreek Township, and they deliver within the county. So we needed to find something else to do, some other way of helping, and we wanted to do it with food, nutrition services.
Right.
So the easy thing is to say, there's so many people who just can't get out during the winter, especially, mm-hmm. who can't get out and do the most basic shopping, and none of the stores in Erie go out and deliver the groceries. You can get groceries, I believe, through some stores. You can call it in, but then you have to go pick it up. That doesn't help the homebound.
It's
fine,
doesn't.
it's a good service, but it doesn't help the homebound. So we're all about helping the people who are what you would call the forgotten. The forgotten are those people who are in their homes, who never come out, who are fine,
okay.
Mentally as well as physically, and who enjoy their lives in the place where they are most comfortable, which is their house.
And you're right.
And
you're
they don't
right.
have to move.
And it is their comfort zone, especially when you're talking seniors and the elderly. It's their comfort zone. All right, Terry. So great, grocery shopping and delivery, bringing it to my home. How's it work?
Well, you just need to identify yourself and say, I need groceries. Okay? And we're going to ask, are you homebound? Okay, so that's really the only qualification.
You have to be homebound and unable to get out.
Right. I mean, there's a lot
of busy people
who have jobs who can get out, who might want a service like that. That's not for us, okay? You would go somewhere else for that. But for us, if you're homebound, you can't get out. If you're disabled, if you're recuperating, we have people who are just tired of asking their sons and daughters or aunts and uncles and all, can you help me? You know, can you go out and get some food for me? And it's just, let's make life easier for these people. It's hard enough getting old. Getting old is not for the weak.
No, it isn't.
You know?
No.
I'm saying that more and more lately. Probably about me. So am I, Terry. But it isn't. It's tough. And to go out and to get the groceries, our very, very first customer is 91 years old. So we have people that have all kinds of age ranges. Okay. But if you're homebound, there is no age on that program.
All right, good.
Okay? I should point that out.
Okay.
To qualify for GCAC, state-sponsored agency, you have to be 60 or older.
Okay.
So if you're 59, you don't qualify. You have to wait till you're 60.
All right.
On the private pay, that part doesn't really matter that much. If you're homebound and you need food, we're here to help.
Okay.
And so that's true of the grocery shopping service as well.
Okay. Are there specific days that you do the grocery shopping, or is it 5 days a week?
We like to, right now, the program, with the program is that we would take orders on Mondays and Tuesdays. And then we would find drivers, volunteers, to grocery shop on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, okay, between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Those are agency hours, and we really don't want volunteers or anybody going to a homebound person's house at night. So everything is delivered during the day.
All right.
Or in the morning.
Okay.
A lot of people like to get them around 11:30. I don't know why. You know, 11:30 you're noon. Got to have lunch. So we have volunteers for that.
Okay.
Specifically for that. And what was nice is that when we put the call out to volunteers, we found that volunteers who are currently delivering meals also now deliver groceries.
Okay.
So they're doing both jobs. I didn't think they would. They're going out once a week now and delivering meals. And then now we give them a call, can you go out and do grocery shopping?
Obviously.
And they love it.
They find it so rewarding.
Yes.
You know, that's really the bottom line.
Yeah.
Okay,
exactly
Terry, now, is there a cost involved? What is the cost for the grocery shopping and delivery?
Well, the cost for grocery shopping service is 10% of the bill.
All right.
Or $5 minimum.
Okay.
So if your bill is $75, your bill would be $7.50. And then so we add that to the amount of groceries on the receipt, the store receipt, and you write a check out for that amount. And then the driver puts it in an envelope that we supply and mails it to us.
Okay, so I pay upon, when I receive my groceries.
Right.
At that time, I just write a check out.
Right.
That's pretty
Because we don't know how much
easy.
it is until we get the groceries.
Right, well, that's true too.
Yeah, and we deliver them, and then we have a form that we use. We put down the amount of the receipt, and then the amount of the fee added up. You write a check for that, and we're done.
Okay.
Easy.
Really easy.
We try to make it as easy as possible.
Well, you know what,
Yeah.
though, and I'm going to tell you, it's affordable also. I mean, that really, $5 minimum and 10% of the groceries, you know, because you've got gas, and I mean, you have a lot involved in there.
Right.
Plus, the services of Giant Eagle, they're working with you in this program also, right?
They are. They're good partners. You know, we go into their stores, we shop. We got credit cards from each of the stores, and when a driver goes in, a volunteer goes in and gets the order, they get that card with it.
Okay.
Then they shop, and then they pay for the groceries using that credit card, and then they go to the person's house and get the check for it, and then send it to us.
And then you just deposit that.
Yeah.
Now, do people, how do they fill out their groceries? Is it online, or is there?
Well, right now,
Yeah, how are you doing?
and I mean right now, because we're starting to see a bigger load go on to the employees
All right.
that handle this program. The customer would call in, and then we would go over that list on the phone. She writes out everything that they want.
Eggs, butter,
Right,
that.
exactly.
Okay.
With the brand names, be as specific as possible. Do you want substitutions? Or are substitutions okay?
Right.
You can get anything that Giant Eagle sells.
Okay.
But if they don't have a certain brand that you want, you might have to
Do you get a different
compromise
brand or
a little bit.
Right. Okay. So that's how they do it. So they call in their list. They go for it, drop it to my house, which can't be my house because I still get out and about, so you wouldn't do it for me. But and then they just write a check out. I'm going to tell you, I think that is fantastic because you know, Terry, I do work with a lot of seniors, and a lot of times they are homebound in the winter. And this is great. I'm going to let people know about this and put some of your brochures out at the Township building too.
Yeah, the important thing to know, and I know this is the Millcreek Township, but we do go out into Edinburgh, Girard, the Triborough area, Harbor Creek, and of course the city of Erie and Millcreek Township.
Okay.
So our services now are expanded into the county.
They are expanding.
Yeah. And I want to go into Northeast, Union City, and Corey.
That would be nice.
So, but Giant Eagle doesn't have stores there. I have to get a hold of the folks there.
Okay.
And see what they offer.
Okay, now I got to tell you something. With your programs, the delivered meals and the grocery shopping, volunteers are really important, aren't they, Terry?
They are the lifeblood. There is no Meals on Wheels without volunteers.
them. Okay, now if any of our viewers decided that they wanted to help volunteer, how would I qualify? Is there any type of qualifications to be a volunteer?
Yes, big heart. Got to have a big heart. You have to go to these people's houses, see them in their own environment. We don't do a safety check per se, but the caregiver or whoever is paying for the meals, as well as the people themselves, if they're paying for the meals, they need, everybody needs human contact.
Right.
Everybody. And I can tell you from the meals that I've delivered, there are people, the only noises that they hear are the mailman coming up and put mail in, and that's it. You know, they don't get out.
No.
They're homebound,
Yes.
and that's the rub. They don't see people. If there's something wrong, we catch it. We have all their emergency contact information. If a volunteer calls on the cell phone and says, "She just doesn't look right. There's something wrong here," then we'll call the emergency contact.
Okay.
And the emergency contact will say, "I didn't know. You know, I haven't seen her in 3 days, 5 days, or whatever." And it also goes for people who are caregivers who don't even live in Erie, which is rising.
Yes, it is.
Nobody's in town anymore.
Yeah,
My two boys are gone, and they're not coming back. They're making their lives outside of Erie.
Right.
So this is true of a lot of people. So when we get checks in for private pay, they're coming from Maine, Oregon, Texas, because that's where they are, and they're concerned about their parents. In some cases, grandparents, aunts and uncles. We've seen it all. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, these volunteers are probably, like you said, the only human contact that they're going to have in a day.
That's probably true.
With a lot of the cases.
Especially in the winter.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
You know, being a volunteer, say I wanted to volunteer, but I can't do it 5 days a week.
Oh, we don't ask you to do it 5 days a week.
Okay, well, see, I didn't know.
Once a week, once a month, or once in a while.
Really?
Yes, and we'll work with your schedule. Now, you pick up the meals like 9:45, and you start delivering around 10 o'clock, anywhere between 10 and noon. Okay, now that's kind of, you have to fit within that criteria. Okay, but for anybody that we have business people go out, we have retirees go out, we have husband and wife teams go out. We have what we call caregiver teams, which are somebody like from Lakeshore Community Services. They'll take a client out, and they get to go out and serve the community themselves. They get to deliver the meal themselves. So it's very positive for their clients. So we have a lot of caregiver teams that do that.
Okay.
But generally speaking, people go out once a week. They would kind of like take ownership of a route.
All right.
Say, I'm doing Monday, Route 1.
Okay.
You know, Louise has been delivering meals for 38 years.
Okay.
38 years.
Wow.
That has stopped.
Oh my gosh.
It's amazing.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. yeah. So we have that. We have a lot of new people that are under a year. And we have, when we do a recognition luncheon every year, we're giving out service awards, 15, 20, 25 years. It's easy to do. You do it once a week. It doesn't take a very long time, and you're really helping people directly. So they're a lot of fun. They like what they do.
But Terry, also too, if I'm looking to volunteer, our time's coming to an end, but I just wanted to point out to the viewers, what if I'm not real comfortable driving around? Are there other areas that I would be able to volunteer and help you guys with?
Well, delivery of the meals and the groceries, it really requires a car. However, say you have a friend who has a car. You talk them into going out, and then the two of you go out and
we could do that,
have
Terry.
fun.
We'd be able to talk a friend into doing this.
And have a little fun doing it. We have
So-
lots of people that are doubles. We have teams of 4 where they go out by themselves. You know, week 1 is person A, week 2 is person B. So we have it covered. It's a team. They don't go out every single week, but they do go out once a month. Okay, and they're still helping. Okay, we will work with you.
Oh, you guys are great. I'll tell you one thing. Terry, thank you for letting our viewers know.
Well, I appreciate
just kind of an update on Meals on Wheels Erie, but also about this new grocery delivery service. I think these are great, great programs. You are such an asset to the community. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And again, thank you for joining me on the program.
Thank you, Judy.
And hopefully we'll have you back, because knowing you, you're going to be adding something in the future.
I'm already thinking of a few
I'm
things.
sure you are. Viewers, if you have any questions, feel free to give them a call. Terry, what is the phone number?
The number is 452-6930.
And if you're interested in a meal or interested in volunteering, because there's always room for more, please give them a call. Check out their website. Thank you for tuning into the Millcreek Government Channel. Until next time, have a wonderful day.
You're watching the Millcreek Government Channel, powered by WQLN Public Media.